Say to you all, howdy everyone, and welcome to today's session. We're thrilled to have you along for the ride. As you can see from our first slide here, today we're going to talk about how to lasso, wrangle, and tame the wild frontier of artificial intelligence. Before we hit the trail and look at the data, let me introduce our posse for you today. My name is Chris Baumgartner from KKWorx. Riding alongside us today, we have Laura Burst from the KKWorx crew. She is our president and director of sales. And Michael McPadden is moseying over here from Hats AI. Together, we're going to show you how to safely herd AI into your business operations without letting it run wild. Just a quick bit of trail etiquette, if I may. Please use the chat function and at any time to throw your questions our way. Our team is keeping a close eye on it also. This webinar is being recorded and we'll send you the recording out to all of you once we reach our destination. So let's tighten your saddles and let's dive into the state of AI in business. All right. Once again, thank you so much for taking time to join us today. We're all really excited to have you all here. Now, let's talk about the reality of what's happening in the market today. AI is no longer a futuristic concept. It is actively being used in almost every office today. In fact, studies show that roughly 78% of employees are already using AI tools at work. And very often, it's happening completely without IT's approval. This creates a massive blind spot. Most organizations have very little visibility into what company data is being shared with public AI platforms. This phenomenon is known as shadow AI, and it introduces major corporate risks around data leakage, regulatory compliance, and the exposure of intellectual property. The core issue is that free consumer-grade AI accounts typically offer zero business-grade security, governance, or audit controls. Because of this, many leadership teams are actively struggling to find a balance between encouraging innovation and maintaining strict security requirements. Ultimately, the challenge is no longer deciding whether AI will be used in your business, but figuring out how to give your team the tools to use it safely. At this point, I would like to ask Laura, as I mentioned, who is our KKWorx president and director of sales, to provide a brief overview of our organization. Thanks, Laura.
Sure. Thank you, everyone, like Chris said, for joining. We really appreciate you taking the time to share with us and learning a little bit more about AI and how Hats AI really stands out from the rest of the herd out there. Here at KKWorx, we pride ourselves on being a trusted partner of businesses navigating the evolving tech landscape. We focus on bringing clarity and practical management to your day-to-day operations. Whether it's optimization or introducing new workflows, our goal is to support your team's growth step by step. We have spent more than 17 years helping Chicago area businesses make technology simpler, safer, and easier to manage. Our expertise range from IT infrastructure design and disaster recovery services to cybersecurity to cloud infrastructure and AI governance. We help local organizations adopt these new cutting edge technologies. Keep having a tough time with that word today. Smoothly giving you the competitive edge without introducing unnecessary risks to your infrastructure. We've been in business over 17 years. And in fact, we're coming up on our 17th anniversary on August 13th. So it's right around the corner. So we don't just use these technologies, we're deeply embedded with them, as well as with our partners. We strongly believe in representing the best of breed, and Hats AI, we believe, is the best of breed when it comes to AI. We partner with them and hold top tier certifications with Barracuda, Juniper, Cisco, and Microsoft. With 9 specialized engineers on staff, we cover everything from the physical cables, layer 1, all the way up to AI and cybersecurity, otherwise layer 7. And you're in good company. Here's a look at some of the brands. We got to flip to the different slide. There we go.
Sorry about that. There you go.
No, it's all right there, partner.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here's a look at some of the brands that we trust. And this is actually like, I can't even say it right, customers of ours that we've been in business with for quite some time. People ranging from Liberty Bank to Goodhart Wilcox, Steiner Electric, and Mineralac. And we're used to handling complete complex solutions for them. And we kind of help them when they are at a loss for their next technology growth and expansion. To give you an idea of scale for the different sizes that we manage, one of our customers is 500 users. Another one of our customers is 13 sites and 1,200 users. So we take on all sizes, whether you're 30 users or 2,000 users. We have a solution for you, and we customize everything to fit your business needs and expectations. To back up that promise, our team brings heavy-hitting technical expertise to the table. As I said earlier, we have 9 engineers certified across various data platforms. Our capabilities cover everything from architectural design with Juniper, Cisco, and HP to network optimization with Microsoft and Verge.io, a hypervisor that's out there that you guys should check out if you're using VMware. We also handle wireless solutions, robust network monitoring, and business continuity solutions. We have our own data center that we partner with DataBank. We have a couple different footprints in Oak Brook and some in Denver. But our deep technical foundation ensures that when we implement new solutions, that we are built to last. I'm now going to pass on the presentation to Michael, who's an expert with HATS AI and been one of the early adopters to that company. He was added on number 16, he was telling me earlier. But he comes to the table with a wealth of technological capabilities as well. So he's more of a sales engineer. And Michael, you can take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. Pleasure to talk to everybody today. And one of the, sort of core concepts that I really wanted to talk about was the reality of the actual market that's out there for AI as it stands today. The way that AI sort of progresses, right? One AI could be better today and somebody else can release something new tomorrow, right? And it becomes groundbreaking work. So when you think about AI, it's no longer this futuristic concept. It's actively here. Most studies show that 78% of employees are using AI tools at work and often using them without IT approval. This introduces a concept called shadow AI, where members of your team could be potentially inputting sensitive corporate data into public free accounts that lack the actual business grade security that exists with other platforms. And the real challenge is deciding whether or not your company will functionally use AI, but how to use it safely. So what I'm here to talk about today is HATS. HATS AI is a all-in-one platform, no code, that allows you to use chat workflows like maybe you've seen in like Claude Cowork or have heard about with Copilot or some of those other things, as well as build your own agents. And you'll see here that on the left-hand side, we have 65 plus models all in one place. So if you're a Claude if you like Claude, right, from the Anthropic group, if you're a Chat GPT person from OpenAI, we have all the Amazon models, as well as some highly curated models that maybe aren't as well known as some of these big name brands, but are really well tested and functionally perform at a very high level from an AI perspective, all in one place, right? So you're not picking and choosing which model that you have to go with. You have them all in one place. And it goes back to what I was saying before of today, Anthropic could be the leader, and tomorrow OpenAI could release a brand new model that changes everything, right? And you never have to be on either side of the fence. You can play the entire field with hats. We have roughly, this slide is kind of being a little bashful on how many integrations we actually have. I think it's roughly 80 direct integrations now within hats. So direct integrations to your Microsoft Office accounts. So being able to pull in Excel, modify PowerPoints, all the way to things like CRM data, Slack, Teams, etc. So we can really incorporate AI into your overall business, which is really the big challenge and the desire for most these days.
No, thank you very much, Michael. It's great to see that there's just so much that hats can do, for our customers and, for their environment. So really appreciate that. And thanks for pointing this out that there's 80 integrations now as opposed to 50. Appreciate that.
No problem. One of the biggest things that they saw, like hats will ultimately solve for, is that concept of shadow AI, right? And that's where hats comes into play. It allows us to provide a business-focused AI platform that's designed specifically for a secure enterprise adoption. Instead of employees managing multiple subscriptions that are unmanaged by IT, we consolidate everything into one singular login, those 50 plus AI models, and maintain the control over governance, as well as billing and user management. From there, it allows us to securely anchor the sort of lock and key framework. It allows us to have zero data retention, meaning that private company data is actually strictly under your control and is never used to train any of the public models. This is something that's very unique to hats. Not many companies have this sort of certification or agreement with these large language models. So it's a very unique thing to be able to have from a AI perspective. And the system internally allows you guys to have granular permissions to manage exactly who sees what, with compliance and logging to make sure that there's visibility and seamless integration into the overall IT systems that support your day-to-day compliance and governance standards.
Okay, thanks.
Last piece is we don't really expect you to transform your entire business overnight. Everybody's going to be sort of in a different place with AI. Maybe you've used it, maybe you're getting used to it in your day-to-day normal life. But with hats, you can sort of take this crawl, walk, run approach. The crawl being simple, high-value use cases that benefit the entire company, right, instantaneously. We then think about walk as customizing workflows that take a little bit more time, but can be replicated across the business. And then we go into that run phase where we're thinking about deploying high-impact, specialized AI tools specific to business units, that it's at a manageable pace without requiring a large lift from like a coding perspective. The platform makes it very simple.
Okay.
So when we start to think about what this actually looks like, there's a lot of functions within hats, right? We've been talking about it, whether that's the chat functionality, like you noted, that you may know today, right? Whether you're using ChatGPT or Copilot or Anthropic or Claude, sorry. You can use the chat just like you normally would, but then we can start to build in automated workflows, right? So these are some common ones that we see quite often, right? Proposal generation, writing and drafting emails, um, taking information from files, right? And being able to do data transformation. I know from my perspective, I do a lot of data transformation in Excel. No longer do I make pivot tables. No longer do I sit there trying to write Excel formulas or remember my one-off commands to modify a cell. AI does all of that for me. Um, but then we can start to get into more specific industry sort of conversations when we think about things like financial services, construction, banking, um, manufacturing, and building out very specific either agents that people can have interactive conversations with or full automated workflows that allow us to either create PowerPoints or PDFs instantly, quarterly business reviews, all become a simple turnkey solution within Hats that you can create using plain English. You don't need this massive expertise in AI. You tell Hats what you'd like it to make, and it creates it for you. And it really helps remove that friction that's sometimes there, or right, maybe that potential barrier to entry that might be preconceived to be efficient with AI, and really help drive the conversation across finance operations, and build a natural team of internal champions of AI. We haven't what we would look at as like an adoption sort of roadmap. Um, Getting through this, we have a clear and cut sort of path over the next few months. That phase one is building a strong foundation over 4 weeks to get your system ready, train your team. We then start to focus on that daily usage, aiming for some of those regular habits, trying to hit milestones like 80% active users. By month 3, we start to think about that use case generation, turning those daily experiments into repeatable workflows that save multiple hours each week. And then we finally take that sort of scale and automation piece into account and really help drive that AI transformation into a company-wide system that delivers massive time savings and a strong return on investment. I spend significantly less hours a week doing day-to-day tasks, doing day-to-day tasks that I've now created an executive assistant for. My boss would never approve a full-time employee for me, right? But Hats is already something that we use on a day-to-day, and I have an EA that just works through my emails, my phone calls, my CRM notes that need to be updated. So starting to think about that time savings, whether it's from an executive sort of daily task handling all the way up to driving efficiency through workflows or automations within your business. And then the last piece is we really want to make this as easy as possible. Hats stems from how do we deliver the easiest AI experience to whether it's novice users or incredibly advanced users. We want to make that path forward easy to walk together. So that collaborative AI readiness audit is really where we can help sort of see where your organization stands today. From there, we'll think about a strategy session, right? And make sure that that conversation is ready for the long haul in the overall scheme of the deployment. And then that deep dive where we start to pinpoint some of those high impact use cases that will save either specific teams or in the entire organization the most time out of the gate. And then build something together, right? With security, and efficiency in mind. And that security piece is going to be the most important, right? A good example that I have for the team here, I was working with a CPA firm not too long ago, that around tax season, they wanted to take in some of the 1040s that they were getting, and use those as ways and avenues to give to the rest of their teams, to pursue more client acquisition for other sides of the business, whether that was estate management or financial services. They had a lot of customers that were just long-term repeat customers on their taxes, but they never did any other business with them, right? So they see them in April, maybe sometimes with a late filing. But AI allowed them to scan through all of their 1040s that they got that year, and target them for other lines of business. One of the things that we went through during that exercise, because right, there's a lot of sensitive information that gets amended to 1040s, I challenged them to ask the AI to read back some of the social security numbers that were scanned from those PDFs that we uploaded. And the AI is smart enough to not only not save that information, but not repeat it back to anybody. So from the data security upstream that HATS guarantees, all the way down to the core AI that you guys use at a chat level every day, is really where that secure and efficiency comes into play. So when you start to think about those business solutions that maybe are bubbling up in your mind now, don't let them be limited by the sensitive information that does exist in your data set. We exist to help you have a secure place to upload that information.